Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Paula Joy. Every week we feature exciting people with exciting interviews talking about their businesses. These are Bay Area residents who are making it and shaking our area, providing quality service to consumers. So today with me on the show is Mr. Kirk Walukiewicz or something like that. Okay, Kurt. I'll just call you Kurt, right? I'll call you
Yeah,
Kurt.
that's
Okay.
that's fine. Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
cool, Kurt. All right. So how long have you been in the Bay Area, Kurt?
Oh, I'm born and raised in the Bay Area, so my entire life.
Oh, okay. So where is that? San Jose?
So I live in San Jose, yeah. So I've been in the South Bay pretty much my whole life, my whole business career as well.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. So you are a CPA, certified public accountant.
That's correct. Yeah. So I do taxes and accounting. So I was an auditor for a long time and I still do audits, but mostly for nonprofit organizations who need a financial statement, their financial statements audited. But a lot of my businesses, it's about 50-50. Well, probably about 60% tax and maybe 40% accounting, which covers the financial statements. And most of my financial statement clients are nonprofits.
Okay, cool. So I'm a mortgage broker, also a real estate broker, but mortgage broker especially, right? So what happens is that I have okay when we present a loan to one of the lenders, we call non-QM lenders, and they say okay they can do a P&L. They say P&L is better, and the CPA letter. Is that something you can provide?
Well, yeah. So there's different levels of service for an accountant. So for something like that, you can do a compilation, and it's basically just a report a compilation report that goes on top of a balance sheet and a P&L, or you can just have a P&L possibly. So that is a service that I can provide if the bank requires it. Most usually they're just for small businesses. They're probably just requiring just an internal prepared P&L, and then there might be a comfort level or a comfort letter, which what they call is a CPA saying, "Hey, I know this person's been in business." So sometimes they look for that. So it really depends what the lender wants.
Yes, I think
Bank,
most cases that's what they're looking for. Okay, so the individual can actually prepare their own P&L, and then just a CPA backs that up and say, "Hey, yes, I vouch for this person." Is that what you're saying, right?
yeah, so that's it. So that's kind of what a compilation is, right? There's different levels of service for attestation. So you're attesting to the accuracy of the records. So a compilation is like the lowest level. You're just saying, this is what the client gave me, and that's what it is. It's no assurance. I'm providing no assurance to accuracy of the numbers. And that's what the bank wants. If it's a really high level loan, they may want more assurance than that. So you can provide a reviewed financial statement, which is like limited assurance. And then an audit has even a higher level of assurance. And the price for those fee or those services does go up by the more assurance I provide. And how I get a comfort level is I just have to do more work for each of those levels. So a compilation, I'm not doing a ton of work. That's why I'm not providing any assurance.
Right.
Now it's coming. A CPA has looked at the numbers, and the bank may have some comfort level with that, but it really depends what the bank wants. So it's the agreements between the lender and the person taking out the loan. So they have to determine what they want, and then but I have the ability to do those different reports.
Yeah, so exactly. So basically, I've seen a lot like that. We have what they call the non-QM loans, which are basically based on bank statements or 1099. And they say, okay,
Sure.
we need a CPA letter. So you'd be very handy when it comes to that because our community, all about the Bay, is serving the needs of small business owners, right? And so serving the needs of small business owners, a lot of these people cannot qualify for conventional loans. They cannot qualify for QM loans. So they can now, but they can buy a property based on their bank statements, based on their 1099. That's it. And you come in and provide that letter, that CPA letter.
Yeah, that's potential. There's a cost with that, but yeah, but I usually get them from my existing clients, and they're refinancing something or trying to buy another property. So they're looking for a letter from a CPA. So yes, I know this person. They've had their own business. So it's kind of a little different than like this compilation or review or audit, but it's kind of along the same lines. I've seen that many times over the years for different clients.
Okay, cool. So you are born in the Bay Area. You've lived
Yes.
all your life in the Bay Area. Okay, so what made you become a CPA? What? I mean, there must be a reason.
So I think when I was going to college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was an athlete, and I wrestled, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll go into coaching or teaching or something like that. And then I kind of rethought about that. And then my mom was an accountant. She was a vice president for the credit union. So I went back and took some business classes, and the accounting classes made a lot of sense to me. So that's really what I was good at. And then right when I graduated, I got a job for a CPA firm, like right out of college. So I just started working staff, and then rose through the ranks, became a manager, worked there for a long time. And then I really decided I liked working with smaller businesses instead of a bigger firm. So I went out on my own the last 2 years and been
Okay.
working with just the individuals, small businesses, high net worth individuals. And then a lot of my accounting side is some nonprofits doing audits and reviews.
Okay, that's interesting. So, okay, you have small businesses, like you said, high net worth individuals and accounting firms. Okay, that's great. So, what's your service area? Is that the entire United States or just the Bay Area people?
So most of my clients in the Bay Area, but I have some clients spread out through the United States. A couple up in the state of Washington, and a few in Florida. So it really depends. I'm able to. I mean, so you have your federal tax return, so I can do any of those, and then the state returns, I can do any state that requires a return as well. So I can work with anyone, and especially during the pandemic. And it was this way before, but there's working remotely. There's a lot of tools you can do to send information securely into a portal of some kind, and work with people using Zoom or whatever. So you don't have to be in the same town to do that. So I can work with people from anywhere.
Okay, so who's your ideal client then, man?
So my ideal client is a small business owner who's like a sole proprietor or has an S corp or LLC type business. Um, I would say from under 5 million is ideal. If they're over 5 million, there's a lot more complications. I have clients who are bigger than that, but if they start getting into multi-state returns, maybe they need a bigger firm than I do. And especially if it's in any international business, I probably would pass it on to someone who has more expertise in that area.
Okay, that's interesting. And then who is your ideal referral client, a referral partner?
Sure. My ideal referral partners are attorneys and bankers and investment advisors. I work well with them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you're always looking for business, I'm assuming, especially now that you've been working for yourself.
As busy as I can ever be right now, but sure. I don't turn down opportunities to talk to people to see if there's a good fit.
And do you refer business also to people?
Sure. Yeah. I always come across some of my clients who need to talk to attorneys or loan brokers or different businesses depending on what their needs are.
Okay, so what do you think of this group that was started all about the Bay? I mean, I talked to you a little bit before.
No, it sounds like a great opportunity. There's always, I love the idea of small businesses working together to help each other because we're kind of all in it together, right?
Right.
So it sounds like a great place, a great resource for small business owners to find information or to find vendors that they might need or refer business to. Sure, it sounds like a great group.
Yeah, we call it a concierge service because people do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? So,
Sure.
for example, I met you today. I mean, it will not bode well if I'm looking for a CPA and I go outside of this group, and go somewhere else. No, it doesn't make any sense. I would
Yeah.
not need to go to Angie's List or Craigslist or even Google. We want to build something whereby we get to know each other. We have the online presence, but we also have these interviews, and we have the mixers once a month, and once a year we have the Small Business Expo. So we're excited about this, what we're trying to build here, right? Okay, so tell me about your highlight. The highlight of your career. So you've been in this thing for a long time, and then the last 2 years you've been working for yourself. So what would you say is a highlight of your career?
Going to work for myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I think just being able to only really worry about my clients' needs. Just me and the clients working one on one and not having um, to go through other people. That's been the most liberating part since I become a CPA, is actually going to work for myself.
Hmm.
I think, and it just allowed me that freedom to really just help my clients with the needs that they have.
Okay, you are a CPA. You work with different kinds of people, lawyers, and high net worth individuals, and then you work with small business owners. So, what kind of advice? Okay, I've been interviewing a lot of small business owners, right? So I see the pain point for most of them is basically they don't have the capital, lack of capital, and because they don't have the capital, guess what? They work like crazy. The business owns them rather than them owning the business. What you are the money man. You're the CPA. What kind of advice would you give our community, small business?
Well, I would definitely advise to keep your records in good order, because if your records aren't in good order, you won't really know where you stand in terms of how much business you're doing, how much obligations you have, and if you need to make moves to grow and to get capital. Um, Banks and lenders want to deal with people who have organized records. So it's a good idea to find a good bookkeeper and a good CPA to help you get your financial records straight. And don't ignore tax notices. Just keep your finances in order and know exactly where you stand all the time. Because that day when you do you want to increase your business and you want to go raise some capital, that all your records are already in order. You don't have to go back and and deal with that.
I think that's very valuable information. That extremely valuable information. So let's assume that somebody here is watching this. I mean, that information is good for a small business owner. But now you're also working with people high net worth. If let's say one of them is listening to this, what's your advice to them? What kind of investments? How do you aid those people? How do you help them?
Well, a lot of them have worked with businesses, and they're working for companies, and they're getting stock options and RSUs and ESPPs and all of this stock compensation. So really having a plan, like what you're going to do with that, what's the best tax consequences of that. So working with your CPA to figure out what that is. I work with advisors. I don't give investment advice. I can't go tell you go buy this stock, because I don't know. I'm not a stockbroker. I don't do all of that kind of research. I know that you should invest in the long term, and I know the basics of investing, but I really try to work with my clients and their financial advisors to have a plan, because what are their dreams? When do they want to retire? What kind of life do they want to live? There's all of these questions could be answered having a good financial plan. And part of that is getting all of your records in order, coming up with a plan with your financial advisor, and trying to execute that plan. So that's my advice to people in general is, first of all, save, right? Save, but maximize your 401ks. Whatever opportunities you have, you should be saving for that rainy day, for your retirement, because some people are going to wake up, they're going to be 60 years old, and I don't have a 401k. Well, what are they going to do next? So I would say, especially people who are younger, just start putting that money away in your 401k plan and save for retirement. But it's not good enough just to put it away. It's what do you want to do with it? What kind of life do you want to live when you retire? What age do you want to retire? That changes constantly, and you have to constantly evaluate where you are on that road. And I think working with the CPA and your financial advisor is the best way forward for that.
Okay, so you mentioned some very valuable information there. So
Small business owners, they may not have a 401k, but they can open up a retirement account. They can have a SEP IRA, self-employed plan, and put away money, or they can. There's different avenues, right, for that. So,
is there anything else you would like to add before we part ways today?
no, I appreciate it, and it sounds like an exciting group, and I'm looking forward to meeting people and exchanging ideas, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Kurt. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye
Okay.
now.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you know of any small business owners who would like to take advantage of our lively interviews, please ask them to contact us at service@allaboutthebay.org. And remember to subscribe to our channel as we post new interviews there weekly.